Welcome to the Beautiful Game. Back with a vengeance. I am Blake, as always, here with Ron.
What's happening?
And Ferris.
Hola.
Threw you guys all up for the new year.
And yet we still knew our lines.
You still knew your lines. I love it. That's right. We've had our own festive fixtures, and some of us have moved to other locations around the country. It's been a little bonkers, so we apologize for this delay, but we are back. Life has been about as nuts as the Premier League. There's a lot to talk about. It's in all the. Let's see. We said just prior to Thanksgiving, right? Somewhere in there is where we had our last pod.
Sometime in early November, probably.
Yeah, a little. You know what? Before I get into it, a little disappointed that it didn't have like all the that they don't do the Boxing Day matches like they used to. They split them around. I don't like that.
All in the name of essentially spreading out the fixtures to help prevent the players from getting overtired and injured.
And I'm sure the TV network like 4 or 5 days opposed to just everything on one day where people can't watch all 7 games at once. But now you can watch maybe 2 here, 1 here.
Sure.
Toss in 2 over there. Toss in another one here.
It just didn't make it as fun. I'm back in my day when we started this pod in 2016. That's not how it was.
That's not how it was. You were correct.
Not at all. Well, on tonight's episode of The Beautiful Game, we're back. But so is the pod favorite and our number one game show, our biggest game show, our only game show. We have a couple of game shows, but this is the most important. Starting out the new year right, it is the return of the Ferris.
What? It's the FA Cup. Capitulo Cinco. That's chapter 5. By the way.
I can't wait. And don't worry, we'll go over the rules for those of you who are just joining us new. And then we're going to blow the halftime whistle as the Lily White of the lamb chop and the burro of the burrito, Ron, will introduce us to their second beer of the night. And then we're going to close out the pod talking a little Premier League. Got to look at the table, talk some news, matches, headlines around the league following a busy festive fixture picture, and our returning 2-minute drill. But first up, as always, it's time to do the beer. Gents, who's first? Oh, well, that's the one thing we always forget to ask each other before we do every time.
You go first.
All right, I'm on it. I got mine. Here we go. Well, this one's for me and Ferris because we've worked with this a lot. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. It is the Seasick Crocodile, which is a freaking great can art. It's like a ugly Christmas sweater of a crocodile
like that.
Chasing a Santa. It is from Prairie Ales out in Oklahoma.
Where the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
There you go.
And the waving wheat sure smells sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain.
So these dudes at Prairie, I don't think we've had anything from Prairie Artisan Ales, have we?
Doesn't
on
sound.
the pod? I mean, I think we've all definitely had Prairie Artists before.
Yeah,
but I don't think we've ever had it on the pod. Yeah.
Well, it said since our first beers were brewed the bathtub of an Italian immigrant from the coal mining clientele of Southeast Oklahoma restaurant. Yum, right? Back then, it was illegal to sell or even possess beer in our state, but we did it anyway because we were super badass. Chalk beer, short for Choctaw beer, was the colloquial name for those homebrewed beers that we were originally serving illegally from Pete's Place, the Italian restaurant that is still cranking out fresh pasta and lamb fries in Krebs, Oklahoma today. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
This Ferris is for you and me because one, we've been involved with the green one with the Grinch off and on in our careers. It's definitely not for Ron because this here is a sour ale with cranberries, ginger, cinnamon, and nutmeg.
Nice. Okay. All right.
The Christmas, like I said, I moved here in Connecticut, December 15th, 16th. I made it we got a Christmas tree 3 days later. We got a Total Wine for Christmas beer 4 days later, and it was slim pickings.
Oh, I'm
so
sure.
I just literally went through and got like all the little like singles of what was left over and got as much as I could. So I have a few Christmas beers left to go, but I'm pretty stoked about this Seasick Crocodile.
Nice.
Heck yeah, man.
Ours is great from the Great White North.
You don't say, eh?
Right?
Oh yeah. I mean, Ferris has got his flannel on.
I do.
Yep. So my family and I went north, very long drive with the dog and the new babe. 24
Hey, how many
hours.
people you date nowadays? That's good for you. Good job.
What's that? What'd you say?
You said the new babe. I was like, how many people you'll date nowadays? Good for you.
So we went up, and while we were going through the Lickbo store, that's what I call it.
The old Lickbo.
The old Lickbo.
Fine establishment up there. in Canada.
LCBO, Liquor Control Board of Ontario. They have beer stores that you can go to. I found the most Canadian beer I have ever seen.
I'm excited about this one. Except for the Wayne Gretzky one that we had last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
2
think
years
that
ago.
was... Yeah, it was Canadian in that respect of, like, hockey gods, Wayne Gretzky,
Yeah.
right? But this is like this, to me, is cracking the country of Canada open and drinking it.
Love it. Can't wait.
That's a great phrase.
The
I
beer-
think you need to open a brewery in Canada and say that.
Right. This beer is just hysterical. When I went and found it, I sent our text thread a picture of the refrigerator with all the beers in it. And I said, this is the most Canadian beer fridge ever, because it's got like Molson and Labatt Blue and all these things. But way down in the corner nether regions of this refrigerator,
Another region of Canada.
I found the Rec League lager from, it's a locker room. 95.8% guts, it says on the can.
It's a random number.
4.2 on the ABV. Locker room lager is a post-game lager brewed especially for you, the ringer, the sniper, the grinder, the bench boss, or whoever turn it is to bring the beer, because giving your all is thirsty work, and because life's little victories call for a brew worth raising. Any rec lager can tell you that. Made by a company called Rail City Brewing, also in Ontario. The interesting thing about this is, like, if you look up lockerroombev.com, this beer has its own website. It has its own website.
Oh, the actual beer itself.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
just
it's
the brewery.
weird. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
And
before.
and on the website, you can't tell who brewed it. So you got to, like, really dig for it. And where the last whistle blows and the post-game lager begins, the friendly spirit of Rec League sport. We're with you through the highs, lows, and the camaraderie in between. And then there's a whole bunch of ways you can donate to Rec League sports around Canada.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a pretty slick little mission statement here, all essentially, promoting Rec League sports in Canada.
You too can keep little children in ice skates and losing their teeth playing hockey all over the great country of Canada.
Yep.
Exactly. And another I'm going to follow what it says here on the can. It says made with all natural ingredients, no preservatives or additives. Locker Room is cold filtered for a clean, refreshing taste. Best enjoyed out of a shiny trophy. It's equally delicious straight from the can, preferably served colder than a short-handed goal in overtime. So I'm gonna do mine out of the can.
Beautiful. I got to pour this because I imagine this sour is going to look fun.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, this smells so good. Oh, Ferris, while I was at the brewery I mentioned, that made the cooler side of the pillow, they or cooler side of the Pilsner, the blueberry maple pancake sour.
Oh, sounds
Dude.
delightful.
It was so good.
Oh, this looks
We've
like
lost Ron.
Pours like a lager.
Yeah, this looks like a Bud Light.
Certainly smells like a lager.
It does not have that kind of deep lager color.
No, it does not. A light lager.
It smells like the floor of the hockey men's dressing room.
That's one way of putting it right before we drink it.
Okay, I was gonna say
Well,
would
mine's out of
help
can. I can't see what I'm actually drinking.
Cheers.
Well, mine smells like Christmas.
Okay, but yours smells a hell of a lot better. Cilantro.
Cheers. Oh, good Lord, it tastes like Christmas.
That's just easy drinking, man. That is just come straight off the ice and just pound back, and then next shift change, baby. You're on.
It is not nearly as bitter as I thought it was going to be.
No, it's very clean, very smooth. Doesn't have that kind of like, what was it, old Milwaukee's Best bitter beer face?
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't have any of that. Very clean, crisp, cold. Just pretty much exactly as they said on the on the can there. Awesome.
Yeah.
This is this sour isn't super sour, despite the fact it's cranberry, but it's cranberry, the nutmeg, and the cinnamon. So it definitely smells like Christmas, right? Like if you're going to make a candle, that's what I would put on it. But it's not super sour. I don't know if the real cranberries, because they're more bitter than sour, kind of balance it out or whatever. But it's actually really, really good.
It looks delightful.
It's hazy like a New England IPA. Mm-hmm. By the way, guys, just in case you're wondering, sometimes things are just named stuff, right? That New England IPA, another thing you can't hit a ping pong ball around here and not hit.
I'm sure
you everybody love, and they got opinions about their New England IPAs. So I have to start working my way through what people consider the best ones.
Well, what you should do is see what won the Great American Beer Fest and chase those down.
See if any.
Oh,
did
yeah.
that, yeah.
The popular one in this area is Sea Hag. People really like the Sea Hag.
Told you not to call me that again.
Okay. Great name, right?
It's the name I dance under.
Yeah. Only on Tuesday nights.
Takes off the sailor hat.
And next up on stage, it's Ron, the Sea Hag.
Hello, sailors.
The fisherman overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Gordon's fisherman.
Yep.
Sexy Gordon Fishman. There's a mental image for you, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy that. Speaking of enjoying stuff, before we can officially get started with our game show, we need the ceremonial Ray Hudson quote from Mr. Ron.
We need
Keller.
to get a soundbite for this year. We didn't get a soundbite quite in time for last. We need a good soundbite for it. Like one of his just like really quick soundbites or something.
So I figured I would do two of them from recent FA Cup games.
Oh, lovely. Might tie in here in a second.
The Newcastle supporters' passion will be the fuel in that team's rocket. I love that one. That was Newcastle with their victory
Against Sunderland.
Yeah, against Sunderland in that.
May feature in our game.
And then the other one, well, there's two more because they were too good. I mean, it's just the magic of Ray Hudson, right? Like James Bond in a white tuxedo. What a cracker. I'm not sure how those equate.
I don't care. I love it.
And then the last one, which was Christian Pulisic and AC Milan victory.
I think we're Pulisic scored too, yeah.
Yep, this is the Pulisic score to win the game. Cool as the seeds on the inside of the cucumber, Pulisic is.
Like, I know that we've got a lot of like, you said the La Liga. We're going to a whole episode we can do because so much has happened, right? Mm-hmm. But man, Christian Pulisic's rebirth in the world of European soccer.
Yeah,
he's a freaking star right now.
I'm so happy he left Chelsea, and and we've discussed this before. I really hated to see him go, but he had to, or he was just never gonna, get any playing time or be ready for the World Cup.
It's what Germany used to be for Americans. Italy is kind of right now because not only is Pulisic playing for AC Milan, but so is Musa, right? McKennie and Weah play for Juventus, and they're doing damn good,
right?
So yeah, it's a fun league to watch. The Americans over there are doing great. So probably on the next pod we'll bring back the La Liga's roundup.
Oh yes.
Oh, Ron doesn't have the boards queued up. I gotta throw it at him real quick.
I'm queued up for your special.
Yes.
He's rusty like I was doing the intro for the show.
Starting off 24 strong here, gents.
Just as rehearsed as always.
Yes.
I mean, speaking of us doing poorly, sometimes Ron and I don't do so good at this. I think it's time for our game show.
What the what? It's the FA Cup.
Now let me introduce you to the host of our game. It's the .007 share owner of Manchester United, the one and only Ferris.
I think I'm a special one.
Thank you. I'm not like everybody. I don't get that sent off 7 times in 1 year. It's okay.
Oh, Jose Mourinho, we miss you in the Premier League. We miss your sound bites.
Welcome, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages. What the what? It's the FA Cup. Capítulo 5. Chapter 5 for all of you.
Chapter.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So it's a game that we've been playing now, obviously 5 times for the past probably 5 years. And it is, if you've ever watched the FA Cup, it is awesome. It is just, you have these smaller league clubs, sometimes non-league clubs playing, sometimes some of the biggest clubs in not only the world, but in the top flight of England. So it's always fun to not only notice these new teams, watch these new teams, but also find out the difference in places that they're at. So here's how the game will be played. I will read out 10 matches that occurred over the round 3 proper FA Cup weekend. I'll go over the teams and the scoreline of the 10 with the bonus round counting for double points, and that's question number 10. That's the last one. That'll be the bonus round. What I will ask is, what league do you think X is in? So what league do you think this team is in? And then I will ask, what's the difference in the number of league places between the two teams? Closest to the number gets the point. You get one correct. You get 1 point for each correct answer, and then obviously the bonus round, I'll make up some ridiculous number that you could go for, and you can win by like 1,000 million, 100 trillion. All right,
it's a big number.
92 clubs, by the way, right? I think it was.
So okay, so here's how the leagues.
Right?
If you're not sure how the Football Association leagues go in England and who all can kind of take part of it, for pretty much anybody. But here are the main leagues that we are going to talk about: Premier League, the Championship, League One, League Two, National League. Then you have National League North, National League South. Now those are on equal playing field. So it goes National League,
each with 24 teams.
Everybody with 24 teams except for the Premier League, which only has 20. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
This is always a tough one.
All right. First match that we'll go over. AFC Wimbledon 1, Ipswich Town 3. As most people probably know, because they're doing quite well, Ipswich Town are in the championship. But gentlemen, what league are AFC Wimbledon in?
Are we doing the league and how many points?
Just the league first.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Somebody wasn't paying attention to the rules on our
So there we go. So I was already trying to do the math in my head. That's why. I'm going to go League One.
Yeah, League One.
0 points for League Two is what AFC
Really?
Wimbledon are in. Yeah, the old League Twos. Now, with that in mind, how many places do you think Ipswich Town and Wimbledon are in the table? What's the difference, if you think? Because I didn't tell you where Ipswich Town is. And I didn't tell you where AFC Wimbledon are at.
So we're going to say 44.
Okay.
That's mine. And what's the rule? Is it closest to without going over, or what was that?
Just the closest to. If you're a little bit over,
Okay.
but you're the closest still, it's fine.
48.
And Blake said 44?
Yeah.
Ron wins this one, so he gets 1 point. Neither of you get the point for the league, but he gets 1 point because they are 53 league places in between each other. AFC Wimbledon in League Two are in 7th place. Ipswich Town in the championship are ranked second right now.
Wow.
I feel like that's Ron and I starting off stronger than we usually start off.
If you
We were
say
closer.
So. If you say
We've had pretty good years at this.
Yes, you guys have.
It's also when we've had a little bit of time to prepare.
Right, and I didn't tell you guys this was going to be on the old content. I don't want you doing any research. I don't want you doing any research. All right, next one. This was a big game that was getting a lot of news, especially on Saturday. Maidstone Town 1, Stevenage 0.
People listening, who?
Exactly, Maidstone Town, spelled exactly like it sounds. Maid and then stone. Town.
I love England.
Against some guy named Stevenage.
Stevenage, yeah.
All right. So,
look at it.
I'll let you know that Stevenage is in League One, but what league is Maidstone Town in?
I'm gonna tell you what, I would have definitely lost that because I was gonna go National League. Stevenage. What is it? Steven. I went. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go National League North.
Okay.
I'm also gonna go National League, but South.
Ron gets the point. National League South.
Wow.
They are third in National League South, so I'm gonna give you that one there. Third in National League South. But what's the difference in league places between Stevenage and Maidstone Town?
So,
Or I'm sorry, Maidstone United. Apologies.
69, dude.
Okay, bro.
63.
Blake, one off. 68 places between them. Blake's first
68,
point
one
the
off.
game.
Like you do me, and I owe you one.
That's one way to put it, I guess.
There we go. Sorry. And I apologize. It's Maidstone United, not Maidstone Town. Maidstone United. What a cup set, as they call it. Just a 1-0.
So
Awesome pen there in the 40. It was in the extra time of the first half, which means they had to go the entire second half and not concede a goal. So it's not like they just scored it at the very end. And Stevenage are 7th in League One, and Maidstone Town are 3rd in the National League South. So very good result
Yeah.
from them.
But see, you don't feel so bad about Chelsea.
All right, question number 3, and we alluded to this during Mr. Hudson's awesome quote on the weekend. But Sunderland 0, Newcastle United 3. This is the first time these two played in what is it, the Tyneside Derby?
yes.
For the first time in 8-9 years now. It's been a while.
And you heard what happened, right?
I did. Did you want to?
Yeah, the Newcastle United banners and stuff that got plastered all inside Sunderland Stadium. Like they went and made a comment about or statement about it.
And they took a team picture in front of their fans in the stadium light after the game. That they did not like that very much.
They keeping that rivalry strong.
Yep.
Yep.
I love that Newcastle played that game as if like they were in League Two in that respect. You know what I'm saying?
They weren't. They put out a strong team. It was pretty much Newcastle the entire game. Kind of an unfortunate own goal to start, and then from there on out, it was just Newcastle entirely. But yeah, these two teams haven't played in forever, so a very fun game. If you didn't know, Sunderland used to be in the Premier League for years and years and years. Then went all the way down to I think League Two at one point, and have worked their way back up. Now, right now, I'll tell you both the leagues, and then we'll just do just the league places. But Sunderland are in the Championship, so they're only one league below the Premier League, which is what Newcastle United did. So, what's the difference in places, you think, gents?
39.
24.
17 places. Not that
Wow.
far, because
Wow.
Sunderland are in 6th in the Championship, so they're in one of those playoff spots down there in that league. And remember, Newcastle United are currently in 9th.
So is that
Well, yeah.
closest to or
Closest to, so Ron, you would win this round.
3-1 to me so far?
You are correct.
So we can still win bonus points for calling it exactly right.
That's not part of the rules.
That was part of the rule one year.
Just the bonus one, which is it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. All right. Moving on. Listen to these two teams. Newport County, not the pack of cigarettes.
I was going to say, that sounds like somewhere in Virginia.
not where I got pulled over and coming down the mountain there in Virginia. It wasn't in Bland County, I tell you that much. Newport County against Eastleigh. Their logo is so cool, and it has like an old bomber plane as part of their logo. It's blue with a white plane in it. Anyways, 1-1.
Eastleigh looks like that.
1-1. They will be doing a replay because of the 1-1. So our first draw on the game. And do you know who they're going to possibly play? Little spoiler for later. But Manchester United. And I think Manchester United have to go to them. What a day that's going to be. But they still have to play that to see who's going to go on. Now, I won't let you know either of these two leagues. So now you can get 3 points here.
Give me the names again.
Which each of the leagues it is in and the number of points.
And that's Eastleigh. And what was the other one called?
Eastleigh, East, and then Lay. So Leigh. I don't know how it's going to help you with the league. But Eastleigh, and then Newport County. So what county, or which county?
Newport.
Newport.
Point.
Which league is Newport County in? Ron, I'll start with you.
Newport County is League One.
Okay. Blake?
I think they're League One.
You both are wrong. They're in League Two.
Okay.
Dang it.
What league is Eastleigh in?
National League.
Ron?
League Two.
Blake, ding ding. They are in the National League.
Nice.
So how many places do you think is between them?
So League One and National League?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're saying? 44. No, yeah, 44.
Ron?
56.
You both, nobody's getting a point for this because you both are so far off. It's the same number as Sunderland and Newcastle, 17.
What?
Because Newport County in League Two, bottom of the table in 18th. So they're down there. Eastleigh in the National League are in 11th. And that's the next league right below.
Right.
League Two.
I still had in my mind that they were in League One.
So nobody, you guys are way too far off. I'm not, I
did the same thing, Ron.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I had League One in my head. I did the same thing.
I think Ferris needs to come up with the EPL rule book on the what. It's the FA Cup.
I make it up every year. I new rules.
Can we VAR that? Did you say
we cannot?
Where's Mike Dean at?
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody see?
Eastleigh is not located in Newport County. Okay.
I know it's in Newport County. My favorite NASCAR driver.
So we have the Rocket Man in Watford. Got a 2-1 win over Chesterfield. Gentlemen, what league are Chesterfield in?
Chesterfield are in League Two.
League One.
No points. They are in the National League.
Ah.
Now, this was a pretty darn good game. Chesterfield took the lead in the 28th minute, and then it took to the 76th minute for Watford to get a goal, and then there was a very, very late goal in the 90th +5. But, man, what a draw this would have even been for them. But what's the number of league places? I'll give you Watford, if you didn't know, are in the championship still. Number of league places. Blake.
All right, well, I'm going to say, let's say 72.
I'm going to, excuse me, 62.
Dead on the money, Ronald.
Yes.
62 on the money. 62 places because Watford are 10th in the championship. Chesterfield leading the old National League. First place, baby.
Now, Ron, you don't get a bonus point because
you do not. You do not
this year.
Clearly.
Yeah, I don't know. Was that a point in the year? Okay, well, It's not. It wasn't written into the rules this year. So.
It's all part of the league rules, rule changes for every season.
I'm like Pigmol. The next pod will come out with an apology, and All right.
Fully expect that.
Question number 6: Nottingham Forest 2, Blackpool 2. So Blackpool getting a replay here. Awesome for them. Nottingham, we know, are in the Premier League, but gentlemen, what league are Blackpool in?
They're championship, right?
Ron?
League One. League One, please.
Ron gets another point. They are in League One.
Did they get relegated recently? I felt like they were in the championship.
I think you're right. So they may have.
Yeah.
They may have. But 2-2 draw here. What's the number in league places between the Premier League club and the League One team here?
So 30, 44.
Ron?
Sorry, doing math in my head. I'm gonna go 50.
Blake's close. There's 37 league places between the two. So Blake gets a point.
Good job, Blake.
Nottingham Forest in 15th in the old Premier League. Then you got to go down 24 places. Then you only got to go down 8 more when you get to League One, because that's what Blackpool are in 8th. And gentlemen, that would actually be my biggest hometown family club from my grandfather's side of things up there near Blackpool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Got to get out and see a match.
I know. I got
I'll say that sounds like a pilgrimage. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Question number 7. Shrewsbury Town, the old Shrewsbury, against Wrexham. Wrexham comes out with another big win, 1-0. Now, I'll tell you what league Wrexham is if you don't know, if you haven't watched the show. They are currently in League 2. But what league are Shrewsbury Town in?
Shrewsbury sounds like a good northern town. I'm going to go National League North. With my terrible northern accent that I'm sure Lee will not be my friend anymore over doing.
Ron?
I'll say they're in the same League 2.
They are not. They are actually in League 1, which is why it was a good win for Wrexham. What's the number of league places?
Oh, that's right. I'm kind of annoyed I didn't remember that. 29.
14.
Ron gets the point. 12 league places, our second lowest on the pod. Hint, hint for the bonus round, by the way. Our second lowest on the pod. All right. Question number 8. 2 more and then the bonus round. Ron has a pretty decisive win. What would you get? 6-3 there, Ron?
Yeah, 6-3.
Yep, 6-3. All right. West Bromwich Albion, where one of those 4 goals was scored by U.S. men's national team striker who's been out for 9 months because of injury, Daryl DK's goal, his first game back after 9 months. And if you have not seen that, Google it, Twitter X it, whatever you got to do. The emotion on that kid's face when he scored that goal after being out and off the field for 9 months, absolutely incredible. But they won 4-1 over someplace called Aldershot Town.
Yes. What a great name.
Wow.
So West Brom in the championship, but what league are Aldershot Town in?
I'm going to say League 2, because every time I guess the North, it's higher than I realize. National League is higher than I realize.
Okay, Ron?
I'm going National League.
Ron is correct. They are in the National League. Just outthought yourself there, Blake. What's the number of league places between these two? And it might be, let me confirm something. It is the highest we've had so far.
I guess it would have to be. So 75.
Ron?
78.
Blake, you were looking real good as you were 2 off, but Ron was only 1 off. 77 league places between the two. That was tight.
Ooh, good one.
West Brom are currently 5th in the championship. Aldershot in the National League are currently 10th. So you got to go down the rest of the championships of 19 clubs, plus another 24, plus another 24, plus then 10 more down in the National League. So, wow. Great guesses there. Like, I'm going to give you know what? We're going to make up a rule right here. I'm going to give you a courtesy point for that.
What's he get a courtesy point
Just
for?
because you're
technically,
semi-close.
I should have gotten a point for the one that was closer, but fair said we were so often the one of us got a point, but technically I was the closer, so
I'm like an NBA ref. Like, if I miss a call, I'll hit you in the third quarter. Don't worry.
Jeez.
that is an NBA ref.
Cutting into my league.
All right. Ninth question before the bonus round. Wigan Athletic used to be in the Premier League and won this competition. Was it back in 2008 with who's the guy that's coach of Belgium right now and just coach at Everton?
Martinez. Roberto.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when they won it. But Wigan 0, Manchester United 2. Manchester United, as you know, are in the Premier League. What league are Wigan Athletic currently in?
League One?
Ron?
I'm going League 2.
Blake gets the point. League One, they are in.
Nice.
What is the difference in league places between the two?
Between Wigan and who? I forgot the other club.
Manchester United.
Oh, gotcha. Where are you guys at these days?
Not good, so that should tell you a little something.
49.
Ron?
38.
Blake wins.
Nice.
54 league places between the two. Man, Blake's only, 2 behind you now, Ron?
Yeah, because he's got made up Fairyland points.
Yeah, that's okay. The bonus round, baby. Here we go. Can I get some applause real quick? Thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight. We'll go to the bonus round. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2. What's the number of league places between the two clubs?
What? Are you serious?
That's brilliant. Well done.
Okay, so where are we sitting at? Fourth right now? Is that 3?
Okay, Rod.
Or yeah,
2 places.
Blake wins. It's 3. Blake gets 100 million trillion points.
Hooray.
That's a pretty good bonus round.
We are going to call it a straight draw. If I give him 2 points for that, it's 6-6. It is a overtime hockey score right here.
I cannot wait for the post it's the FA Cup interviews for Blake and I, because I'm going to pull out
You're going to pull out all the stops?
all of the stops, and I'm going to pull out I'm going to channel my inner Arteta and my inner Klopp, because we were wronged again. Well done, Ferris.
Congrats on what? It's the FA Cup. Captulo cinco.
Good job.
Well
Always
done.
fun.
Well done.
Always fun.
Well, does that get us to halftime?
I think it does.
I think it does.
Man, we're not firing on all thrusters.
It's been a while. We're a little rusty, but my scoring was on point. I'm just.
Does this mean a second beer, right?
It does mean
a second beer.
My fridge is close by. You start getting yours out.
Well, we'll go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
All right. So, Ferris, pick a number between 1 and 4.
You might as well go 3 because that's the number of league places between the Liverpool and.
Here you go.
Thank
That
you.
is our beer.
Oh, cool. So the reason he asked me that was on Ron's travels to the Great White North, one of our absolute favorite pod breweries, Flying Monkeys.
Yeah.
Had a box set, if you will, of 4 different beers. And I picked number 3, and number 3 is it Meat Morp? Is that how you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Meat Morp. And it is a high density hop charged IPA.
Ooh,
Heck yeah! This is when I saw the various IPAs, if you will, that were on the can or on the box. I was eyeballing this, so I'm excited to have this, and we'll definitely pour this out. But it has a real, just the psychedelic can art, a lot of fun colors. This green, like alien hop looking guy with these Doc Brown goggles type on, for freaking cool. But if you have not even checked them out or have not Googled them since you listened to us, certainly do that. But if you ever get up there in the Barrie, Ontario region, it is absolutely a must-stop brewery.
Also, you can get a ton of their beers in Total Wine.
You can down here. Absolutely, you can.
A friend of the pod, Tim, sent us kind of a holiday email, and he mentioned that he was able to find some Flying Monkeys beers in Total Wine and
That's
snatched
awesome.
a bunch
Yep.
of them.
You know what? I got to check. The Total Wine had a good selection, but I didn't look for Flying Monkey. But
It'll be in the
looking at
Canadian
Christmas.
section for the imported. It's not in craft.
Yeah, and I was over at the I was specifically in the seasonal looking for Christmas stuff. So I yeah.
But on the can, we come in intense peace. Meat Mort is the peaceful greeting of the hop hybroids sharing their alpha advanced cryocharged civilization with our water-rich planet.
Did you say Meat Mop?
Meat Mop.
Meep Morp.
Meat Mort. Hey, Meat Mort.
Amazing.
Equinox Cryo, Idaho 7, Eldorado, Citra Mosaic, and Incognito impart the glow of luscious fruit, add brief pulsars of sappy herb, and send bright citrus bursts illuminating our evergreen earth with the succulent golden creation. Meet Mark. Friends, thank you for teaching us about our own humanity. Woo! For not being on the pod for a bit, that was rough to say, but this is awesome. I can't wait.
Check out the can art.
It's so cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Meet Mark.
Their can art is so good.
Meep Morp. I love it.
Meet Mark.
What you got, Blake?
All right. I have got another Christmas beer because you know I love them from our favorites from Iceland.
Weinstock.
What a great
Well,
Doppelbock.
Their Doppelbock, their holiday beer. Only available through the holiday season, our winter celebration German-style Doppelbock is worth the wait. Malted barley and chocolate tones define the traditional style, while the robust aroma and long, mellow finish send this off with the perfect companion for holiday adventures. It's got the little Viking with some antlers on and got his little Rudolph nose. Einstock over in Iceland. God, just a great brewery. I love they don't make a ton of stuff, but all of it's good.
And their can arts are so
Clean.
so
Just
clean, just so
sexy looking,
sophisticated. Yeah.
that their Arctic Wildberry Winter Ale.
Ooh.
Oh, it's so
Oh, yeah.
I don't
flippin'
think I've
good.
seen that one.
Tell you guys, I was gonna crack into my that special bourbon aged Maibach thing from the German brewery in Knoxville, but I was like, oh yeah, that's like 13%. Let me not make that a second beer for tonight. Maybe that's I'll stick with that.
That's a beer for laying down and avoiding.
Long down and avoiding. So I love that probably one person in there listens to the pod and goes, hey, that's from that Monty Python bit. It's like, that joke's for you, bud. All right, gents. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, friends.
Cheers.
Oh, this
Well,
has
that's-
got the IPA like aroma, comes out. It stands itself up out of the glass and punches you in the face.
Meat Mop.
Meat Mort.
Meat Mort. I keep saying
So good.
mop. Mop is what I want to
So
say.
good.
Did you just say meat mop?
Meat mop.
like
Meat Mop.
like when you're mopping your meat on your smoking it?
Sure.
I'm glad you
Mort.
clarified when you're smoking.
Yeah, I know. I was like, well,
Yeah.
where's he going
When
with
you're
this
mopping
one?
your meat. No, hey, look, this is not a beautiful game, but it is because Ron and I love smoking meat. Ferris, I sent him a link today at the whatever the CE2, whatever the big electronics convention or whatever in Vegas is. GE unveiled an indoor smoker.
Like
that you
countertop
can
smoker.
Yeah, you can smoke your
Really?
food with. It doesn't release any smoke into the house.
How does that work?
I don't know. We're going to
I
find
don't
out.
know, but I want to find exactly. Because like if I had it on the countertop, you can't fit everything I can fit in my smoker. But the amount of more things that I would smoke just because I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah.
let's
Like
just
you
put
would,
that in.
you wouldn't want
Accessible.
to, you wouldn't want to fire up our gigantic smokers for a chicken breast. Right. Or,
But you would for that.
but you'd easily just throw that in there. It's like throwing it in the microwave.
So is it like an air fryer type where it just does?
It looks size wise. It's a kind of that size, but it's pretty cool, man. I mean, I'm curious how it works. They said they tried it, and when you open it, you got a whiff of smoke. But the food was super smoky, but it didn't release any smoke into the area. So
Look at the picture. Is this a countertop
Oh.
smoker? It looks like a microwave.
Yeah.
yeah, and it uses pellets
That's
like my
fun.
smoker does, or Enron's. I forgot. Yeah, you got the Traeger. But I'm just, I'm just curious. Like, imagine you're like, I'm going to make some stew. Oh, you know what? I'm going to smoke the chicken that I'm going to put in the soup
Yep.
or whatever. Like, oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's for Brutiful Q, our other podcast.
The Brutiful Q.
Right. By the way, boy, I've thought about it more than a few times. I've bounced around Connecticut seeing all these cool small breweries being like, what do we got to do for Ferris and I and Ron to buy one of these building like this, just make a brewery? Oh my God. I just want to do it with little labels of Brutiful Game on the beer. Oh my God. Every time.
Someday, Jen. Someday.
Yeah. Someday be like the three weird guys that never leave, sit in the corner talking about their beer and their soccer all night
Right.
long.
Sounds like a glorious life to me.
Yeah.
Dude,
Tell me
did you
about it.
fix it?
What was it? There's some documentary with was Zac Efron or Jonas Brother. I don't know, somebody, but it's on something. And there's a guy, I don't remember what the hell it's on, not very descriptive, but he's doing this like documentary like all over the world about food and that sort of thing. And in Italy, there's a guy that all he does is he gets dressed up in a suit, walks down to his local cafe, pub, bar, has a glass of wine, and walks back. And that's his day.
Sounds pretty
Doesn't
amazing.
that sound lovely? That could be
That
us.
sounds
That could be
glorious.
it. We walk to our brewery, have a pint or two or three, talk soccer, watch soccer, and then walk home.
Doesn't sound like a bad existence.
No, that sounds glorious to me. I can't wait. I found this new pub. I didn't get to go to it because I got hit with a foot of snow, but it's like a smokehouse, but by a guy from Liverpool, and he shows all the matches and games and stuff. So, that's also on the list over West Hartford.
Down
Guys,
to
this-
earth with Zac Efron. I believe is
There you
what
go.
it's called. Yeah.
This Doppelbock, by the way, is really good. Some Doppelbocks, you know that sort of like flavor on the back of your tongue that you'll get from them? Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, not like hoppy, but it's like an intense richness almost. And some of them to me like or maybe it's like the breadiness is like so overwhelming. And this guy sits in a good pocket. Sometimes I get a Maibach and I'm like, I can only have like half.
Sure.
I feel like it's something I only want like a half of. You know what I mean? This thing is delicious.
This is a very hop forward profile.
Oh yeah.
What in the Meep Morp?
Meet more.
I like the way Ferris says it the best.
Yeah, he's got it.
It's quite good. The hops are heavy on the nose, but not all that heavy in the beer.
No, one of the
It's well balanced out.
Yeah, and one of the things I love about them as a brewery is they're very good. Like some of the breweries that we have here actually do IPAs extremely good. They tend to do juicy IPAs, very flavorful IPAs extremely well, but they're all mellow. So what was it? 6.7%. I don't know if I ever said that, but
Yeah.
You could pound a few of these back. You would feel it, but you wouldn't know that you're feeling it when you're pounding a few back because it just goes down smooth. Although you're drinking a 6.7%, IPA.
Yeah.
So they just do it so well.
That's what this Doppelbock is at, 6.7%.
Yeah. See that? There you go.
Yeah. And it's the same way, but on the bready side, that malty breadiness, it's like really, you smell it strong, but it's not too much you drink it. Good gosh. That's a good one. I wish I had more of those.
That brings us out
Boom.
of the half, gents.
All right. We are going to talk just kind of where everything is sitting at the Premier League right now. So really quick, I'm just going to run down the table. We're recording this. What the heck is today's date? It's the 10th of January. So we got matches coming up this weekend. But right now, as it sits, Liverpool up top, 45 points, followed by Aston Villa, 42 points. Man City sitting at 40 points. In third, Arsenal at fourth, also with 40 points. But there's about a 7-goal differential between them and Man City. Then in fifth, you've got the Spurs at 39 points, West Ham at 34, in sixth, seventh, Brighton Hove Albion at 31 points, Man United at eighth, sitting at 31 points, but a negative 5-goal differential. That's actually our first negative going down the list, I think.
You're welcome.
Newcastle United. Now here's a weird one. Newcastle United, 10 positive goal differential, but 29 points. That's kind of weird when you look up the rest
Both
of the
with
list
9
there.
losses, but that extra win from us and not a draw is helpful there.
Following Newcastle in 9th and 10th place, we have Chelsea with 28 points. We've got Wolverhampton Wanderers sitting in 11th with 28. Bournemouth sitting with 25 points in 12th place. 13th is Fulham at 24 points. Then we've got Crystal Palace sitting in 14th with 21 points. And this is where it starts to get real tight, just as the way the top is. Nottingham Forest, 20 points in 15th. Brentford, 19 points in 16th. Everton, 16 points in 17th, although should be 26 points, but they're currently deducted 10 points.
Deduction. I don't even know if we've been on since that.
We have not.
Yeah, there you go.
I know we haven't. That kind of broke right before, Luton Town, gosh, mighty Luton Town. If anyone's going to do it, it might be them that somehow survives that got promoted. But Luton Town, 15 points at 18th place. Burnley in 19th with 11 points. And Sheffield United, 20th with 9 points. And that gets us to our 2-minute drill. Because I don't think you bring it up, I'm going to ask the question, gents. You think that's probably 19th and 20th? And really we're looking at a fight for who can stay out of 18th?
Sure.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Burnley just cannot get it together. They don't.
Well, and Vincent Kompany did such a wonderful job in the championship, but still trying to play that open, expansive type style, which, when you get these type of teams, bigger, better, stronger, faster teams coming to you, it's usually not going to pay off, and it hasn't. Just not real goal scorers. 1 win in the last 5. Same with Sheffield United. Both just don't have those goal scorers, which is what you need. Where Luton Town are making it happen. The home crowd is certainly an advantage anytime they play there. Colton Morris, they have Townsend, they have a couple of Ross Barkley there that they've kind of signed. Yeah. Some vets mixed in with that young to the league type talent. So I think you're probably right. Everton were on a good streak right after that 10-point was announced, but kind of fallen off here in the past bit with 3 losses in a row. We'll get to something.
And you feel like Luton Town is a club that, look, they could end up in 18th and be relegated, but they're going to be down at the bottom. But I could see them leaping in Everton or Brentford at some point.
They could. Yeah. Brentford, though, get a big part back of their team, which we'll go into here in a bit. And Nottingham Forest, new manager in. That was, I think, our second sacking or first sacking. It might have been our first sacking.
Bournemouth was the first, right?
Bournemouth. Was Bournemouth before the season, though? I don't think that was actually part of the season, though.
Oh. I thought it was
No, because we all were surprised. We're going to look that up. Ron, I'm first.
Okay.
Am I first in this 2-minute drill? No, you are. I'm going to look it up.
Okay. Yeah. But either way, new manager, Nuno Espirito Santo is back and coach of Nottingham, formerly of Wolves, then went to Saudi Arabia and now back. And then Palace, they could be in it too. But, anyways, let's get into some of the topics.
Well, real fast. For this week's stat that doesn't sound like it's the correct stat.
Is that a new segment?
I don't know. I'm playing with it. But... Gentlemen, did you know that Luton Town has scored more in the Premier League this season than Manchester United?
Oh, yeah.
By 1 goal. But that doesn't sound like it's a stat that's real.
Oh, that doesn't sound real.
If you watch them the past 4 months like I have, that's a more believable stat than a lot of the ones that they've had in the past.
Ferris, we were both wrong. December 5th, 2023, Sheffield United, first club to sack their manager.
Isn't that what I said?
Did you say Sheffield?
No, I did not. I said, who did I say?
No.
Nottingham.
Nottingham. Yeah,
Sheffield.
Eastern upset.
Yeah, okay. You're right. Sheffield did. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and bottom. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, gentlemen, here we go. Liverpool are at the top of the table currently. Are they now the favorites?
Yes, for me.
I don't think so, and here's why. I think as this season plays out, we're going to hit that spot where we're like a month from the end, and it starts to become, who actually wants to win this friggin' season?
Right.
Because all of these clubs that are sitting in the top 4 spots could win it. And they all could blow it in the last few weeks too, because no one's been, Man City's not like they were. They're not just like beatable. They're like, something's up. I'm not saying they're still not one of the best teams in Europe. They sure are. But something's up. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne's back, so things could change. But like, it just feels like we're looking at clubs that could all screw it up in the end. So I hesitate to say Liverpool's a favorite. With Kevin De Bruyne coming back, it's really hard.
You know what though, and I'm glad you said that, because I purposely wrote it with the favorites now, not amongst the favorites, right, or a part of the favorites. And I didn't even pick up on that as I'm looking at it, going, oh wait, but you're right. Man City always come good here in the end, and something to kind of keep in mind here as well. No Salah, no Endo, as both are off to AFCON.
Right.
And both could proceed far, as Endo plays for Japan and Salah plays for Egypt. Both kind of favorites of that tournament. So
it's Aston Villa's time to try to get ahead.
Right.
That could be a loss for them. But the attacking talent, the midfield acquisitions, with Van Dijk fit, I know he was out the last game due to illness, but he should be back. Hey, they look good. They look strong. I think they are. Let me rephrase it. I think they are definitely part of the They are part of the favorites, but I don't know if they're the favorites right now.
Love how you phrase that, by the way.
Now, in second place, can Aston Villa hold form, and are they title contenders?
Absolutely to both of those.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah?
Yeah. Contenders is different than saying if you held a gun in my head and I bet money. But do I think Aston Villa will stay for sure in the top 4 above clubs like the Spurs, West Ham, Brighton, and Man United? I think right now I would vote for that.
Yeah. Bet beer on it?
Yes.
Oh, look who's back with a bet beer.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, we're going to bet Aston Villa stays ahead.
The Matt Call bet special.
Wow.
Matt, this is for you. I'll bet you Aston Villa stays ahead
of who?
No.
What's the
stays in the top 4 or not in the top 4?
Oh, this
That's
isn't
simple.
like a versus Man United thing.
Oh God, no! I wouldn't.
It becomes it becomes way
less.
less fun. I thought it was like the old.
Because you're like, yes, they're contenders. They're staying in the top 4. I don't think they're going to stay in the top 4. I think they're going to end up in that 5th, 6th range. I think they're a strong team.
So if you don't think that, you really think Spurs, West Ham, or Brighton, or even Man U could crack that, and Aston Villa
Spurs and
can't stay
Brighton?
at that top 4?
And West Ham, maybe. United, no, I'm not putting them into anything. They're
right now.
mess right
you know
now.
how I just said all these clubs can screw up? I should make an exception to that. Right now, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, all shown they can F it up when they shouldn't. Aston Villa is the reverse, going, they can do really good when they shouldn't. And so I think they can hang in that top 4. I think they got more positivity going behind them.
So do you want
Ron, you got to break the
bet a
tie.
beer?
I'm not going to bet if it were not my club.
Right.
If it were not my club versus your club,
Okay.
maybe I'd be in on this. Matt, if you want to bet Ferris, you go right ahead.
Okay, there you go. Ron, what do you say?
I think out of all of them, they have been the most consistent. Liverpool's been up and down throughout the season. City has been up and down throughout the season. So I'm going to say that they have a great chance of staying in the top 4.
I agree. With Arsenal's back-to-back losses in the league, out of the FA Cup now, and 1 win in the last 6, how concerned am I? I looked at Ferris writes like from my point of view. I mean, look, I get to do this lovely show with you guys, and I'm not supporting Man United or Chelsea. So my season is still going strong in that respect. Yeah,
I think
I'm frustrated, but I also.
It's not like you guys aren't creating chances, right? Because what was the stat in the last 2 games? 60-some shots, but just not putting those away, not finishing goals. So I could see that. I mean, it is a very Arsenal-ish thing, though, just happening a little bit earlier this season than it did last season. But
maybe earlier is better.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? Give you a chance to recover.
Yeah. It is weird. Like you said, like you're like, look at the stats and you're like, why are these losing these games? Like, it doesn't really make sense. I don't know what's going on with the I don't know what's going on with the finishing. What's the difference from this year to last year to this year with the finishing? I'm not really sure. And we certainly missed Justin Timber back in the back line. That's for sure. I don't think they're going to go after Ivan Toney for that stupid 130 million they wanted to charge Chelsea and Arsenal for Ivan Toney.
Well, but also, why does Arteta loan out Tierney, who's tearing it up right now, and that's defensive cover that you could have.
I think that had to do with some financial. To be honest, I think it was a little financial fair play.
I'm sure, but still, you're, and then that was prior to the injury, so kind of unknown there. But out of FA Cup will help because now Arsenal are only competing on the Champions League side. Now, remember that wasn't a thing last year for you guys, and you guys were out of the FA Cup early last year and out of the Champions League early, so that was the only thing you focused on. So I think the Champions League could play into it, but you don't have that third league now. So I don't know if it's worrisome times. We'll see how February and March play out.
Kevin De Bruyne returns from injury for Man City, along with Doku and Haaland pretty soon. So, gents, will we see another Pep surge at the second half of the season?
As I think I said earlier, I can see all these clubs effing it up that are in the top 4 right when these guys click back into gear, and there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's just too patterned a behavior for Man City over their past recent seasons to basically say that whatever problems they have now are going to be problems throughout the season. So I think you're going to see a surge. I agree. It's going to be a battle to the end between Liverpool and Man City.
And I think the big thing here, and what people forgot about, is has City been on like this injury crisis or whatnot? No, but they have had Haaland out for a bit. Doku was out. Doku played the FA Cup match. De Bruyne came in. Lovely set of hair now.
Oh, it's
man, those
beautiful.
locks are gorgeous, isn't it? Unbelievable.
Yep.
But played a lovely ball. One of the best midfielders, one of the best assisters. Once they get Haaland back, who can knock those in, I think it's dangerous. And I think Pep has a really good understanding of how these seasons run, how his team runs. I think there's different pieces there. Guardiola, who's playing that kind of left back for him, different to that back line. Doku obviously new. No Gundogan this season. Big loss. They've struggled with that over in the midfield. Rodri being out for some games, suspensions, and some other things. So I think just Pep knows how to manage the totality of the season, which is something that Sir Alex was so good at, the totality of the season, right? And with the other cup tournaments and other Champions League games, I unfortunately agree. I think that they will have another surge. But will it be enough? Because now you don't have them in a 2-leg battle. You have a Liverpool up there. You have a Villa up there. An Arsenal up there. So might be able to beat out one team, but can you beat out all 3 of those teams?
I think they can. They
definitely have the quality too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
On Christmas Eve, Sir Jim Ratcliffe buys 25% of Manchester United. Wow. Which, out of reports today, he's going to be in the stands at the game against Tottenham at Old Trafford on Sunday for the first time since he's been a lifelong fan of the club. The first time he's bought in, and it's pending Premier League approval. But overall thoughts?
Did you vote to approve it?
That's not votable.
Oh, it's a point.
That's not votable. Yeah, shareholders aren't able to that. Now it's a very. I'm pretty sure it was Athletic. Had a very interesting article of how this deal is structured. One is the most intricate, detailed deals
crazy.
in history.
It's like the deal is like reading the Patriot Act.
It is ridiculous.
It's like it's not a deal structured that you can read like a book and understand it. It's very much like go to this contract, read paragraph A, and change the second sentence to blah 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 blah.
Yep.
Is it still? But does it come down to basically like, we still own it all, but you now have more say, and if it all goes wrong, we can blame you instead of the Blazers. Is that really?
But it also splits very weirdly. It, in my opinion, weirdly, it splits the operations from the commercial side.
Yep.
And the money comes from the commercial side to make decisions on players going out on loan or purchasing new players in transfer windows.
Yeah.
It's going to be so weird.
And Ratcliffe's putting in like 200 some mil of his own funds or his company's in Ineos's funds. But something interesting here is that the Glazers can tomorrow, for instance, decide to sell off the club. And Ratcliffe would have no say in that. But he could buy back the shares and essentially make his money back and get exactly, if not a little bit more, of what he bought in for. Really weird part of the club. Anyway, look up the details of this. It is wild. I think it's a good thing for United. Hopefully some structure happens.
I think it's good in that I think something different just needed to happen for you guys. I don't know if it's going to be good, but something different
needed to drop
happen
somewhere.
Ron, Ten Hag, does he make it to the end of the season?
Yes.
Do you think? Because he's already used the word project a couple of times.
Well, and apparently him
good
and Ratcliffe have had some
managers.
talks, and I hope he does. Do I think he does? Blake, I'm not going to lie to you. You called it because of the season. It's been rocky, and he may not make it to the end of the season. But I think he does. I hope he does. I hope he's giving a chance here because we cannot keep going manager after manager.
Wow. Speaking of rotating doors, Timo Werner signs on loan with Tottenham until the end of the season with an option to buy. Good signing. Let's throw this to Ron. I
have such mixed emotions about it. So I'm talking with some friends in another chat. One of my brother-in-laws is a diehard Tottenham fan, and he's Mr. Positivity all the time, which is great. I enjoy that, right? It gives you a new perspective. He throws out this stat that's like Timo's XG when he played for Chelsea was 18 goals this season. 18 goals for the season, only scored 10. And he's like, that's a really great XG. And I'm like, but the XG doesn't matter because it's fairyland numbers.
He scored 10 in 56 appearances.
Yeah. And 56 appearances in multiple competitions.
He scored 11 in 35 for RB Leipzig the first time.
So
I'm sorry, this current time that we're in, he scored 78 from 127 the first time.
I wonder if he's just a great Bundesliga player and cannot get into the rhythm of what the Premier League is.
Well, fool me once, fool me twice. We'll find out here the second time if he is.
Well,
but I think it's a good signing. I really do think it's a good signing for an Ange type style of ball.
And did you? Because
I
I can only imagine the crap Arsenal would be getting right now if they had gotten him on a loan.
Well, no, but it was Man United going after him. Remember, that was the news reports prior to, and we were getting crap for it. That I think would have that's like sending him into a dumpster that's literally on fire. Tottenham's not that this season. They have injuries. They're not going to have Son for a bit because of the AFCON, but I think he can help. I do in the style of expansive, fun, attacking style, go ball. I think it's a good signing.
Except the part where you actually put it in the back of the net.
XG is all that matters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. XG is all that matters.
Yep. Calling it now. The Arsenal Spurs match is going to be a 1-1 draw. Havertz and Werner.
Yes, 100%. 100%. I love that. It's the Germans.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So, gents, what's happened in Newcastle?
Already talks of Eddie Howe on the super hot seat.
4 losses out of their last 5. They have City coming up.
Oh, God. Eddie Howe's about to be the next manager of Man United. Only lasts the season. That's what's about to happen, isn't it? That's what's going to happen.
I love Eddie Howe, so I take it.
I love him too, but the problem he ran into at the Cherries is what he's running into here. When people started to figure out the plan,
very
couldn't
true.
really adjust.
Very, very true.
Yeah,
And
he couldn't.
I think you were in a very difficult Champions League group, right? So that expelled a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yes, you have
Don't
some
blame him for
injuries.
that.
Yes,
I think it's about
Yes, you have some injuries now. I mean, now you're not the only club in the table to have injuries, but you have a good set of injuries now. But I don't know how I compare this. Is how the Tony Dungy to Chucky for the Bucks. What the hell's the guy name? He's no longer in the league. Oh God, I can't remember his name now. I can see him, blonde hair guy.
Oh, Chucky. Oh God, the American football coach. He coached to the Raiders.
Gruden.
Yes, is he the Tony Dungy that gets him so close? So great team there, but just needs that extra. He might be right. He might be that. He's going to get him so close, but then somebody else is going to come in and pull it all together. Great signings, great team. Yes, you have some injuries. Yes, you're in this very difficult time. Mind you, they were doing all this when he came in last year. Great turnaround, the signings that they made, all of that, but they weren't in any other competitions.
Right.
Yes, they went to the
Newcastle's going to have
Cup
money
final, but that's it. But they have to have financial fair play, so they can't just go out and spend. Like,
well, no, but wait, Newcastle, does financial fair play count against your manager?
No,
because Newcastle could.
It applies against an entire nation, though, as you are now backed.
Yeah,
but
Newcastle's going to end lower than Chelsea. That's my prediction.
They might. They very well might. All right, last one here, gents. And I bet you. I'm just kidding.
I can't believe you didn't let me.
Ivan Toney returns from suspension for Brentford. Is he staying put or is he on the move?
I think he's not moving because of the stupid price tag they put on him. He's moving in the summer.
Yeah, I'll say he moves in the summer.
Yeah. I don't, 9 month suspension for gambling and yada, 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 and betting concerns, like 200 and some counts or something. It was something outrageous. But anyways, back. He's trained in America. He's trained elsewhere. His manager has come out and basically really backed him, support him, saying, we're hanging on to him. He'd have to go for an outrageous fee. And I agree. He's going to be crucial to Brentford. He could propel them up the table and keep them entirely safe. Is $100 million in January insane? Yes, it is. But that's fair from Brentford putting that tag on him so he doesn't move and desert them during half the season where they're in a relegation battle right now.
Can I put another one on you, though? Like, they're in a relegation battle, but they got Nottingham above them, Everton below them. Brentford without Ivan Toney could do this. If they pull together, could do this. If they put Ivan Toney in and he hasn't played in a while and he doesn't have a great season and they only get like 40 million from him next year, they could get 70 or 80 million. They're not 130.
But it's not like he's a Mbappe or somebody where he could go for free in the summer. He's still on contract. So either way, they're still going to have to pay for him in the summer.
They have to release clause it.
So I think, yes, they may not get that 100 mil asking price, and he may flop, and that completely, lowers the cost come the summer. But I think he stays put. I think Brentford propel up the table. Hell, you know what? I picked him up in our fantasy league, Blake.
Oh, yeah?
And do you know who else I picked up?
Who?
Timo Werner.
I think Chelsea and Arsenal are going to go, whew, I'm glad we didn't do that as the second half season goes. I just will be shocked if he comes in and has that crazy of an impact, not having played for how long?
I don't know.
9 months,
he's been training pretty hard, and so it's not like he's just been sitting on the couch eating Fritos.
But that game speed that upped the pace of a Premier League game.
I get it, but I think
different.
Brentford's chances are better with him than without him. So
how much you want to bet on that?
You relax. So I think that he ends up helping Brentford stay up, and then goes in the summer transfer instead of winter. I think the 100 million price tag is to keep him there.
Yeah,
right? It's
Yes.
not because they
Yeah.
really think
Yeah.
he's worth 100 million.
He is English and he is a striker, so that automatically tags like
Yes.
80 mil onto it.
True story. Chance, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding? Like so good. I've this just felt right. It's like haven't exercised this football banter muscle in a little while.
You know what? And we covered a good gambit of beers on the pod tonight. You had a sour and a doppelbock. We had a IPA and a lager.
That's some pretty good variety.
Some good coverage there.
Man, I still got a couple of winter ales left to get, and one late Halloween ale that I just saw and went, there's only one left. I'm getting it. It's from Allagash. I'll throw it on one of the next pod.
Yeah.
The
I
good
don't
old
usually get a
Allagash.
chance to get their specialty stuff because that never really made it down south, So, I
Wait,
was
where do
pretty
you live?
stoked. Huh?
Where do you live?
I'm in Unionville, Connecticut,
Hold,
which is like in the Farmington, near the Farmington River. And my neighbor 2 doors down, he's like a producer and video editor for ESPN. Cool dude, just met him and he's like, hey, we're trying to get people together to get tickets for World Cup. I don't know if you're interested. I'm like,
That's cool.
oh, and then I was like, I didn't mention, talking to my wife. I was like, I didn't mention about the podcast because like he works at ESPN. I don't want to be like a nerd. Like, she was, I already told him and his wife all about Beautiful Game. I was like, okay,
God.
thanks. That's why he was asking about the tickets. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I was like, yeah, go to a World Cup with a bunch of ESPN dudes. That would be a blast, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that would be incredible.
So Blake,
Yeah.
what were the beers that you had on tonight?
Oh, sorry. I had the Einstocks Doppelbock. And then from Prairie Artisan Ales, I had the Seasick Crocodile. That's the cranberry nutmeg cinnamon sour. That one was.
Blake, you are 3 hours drive
From Allagash.
from Allagash Brewing Company.
Oh, that's gonna be a trip, buddy. I need to get up. No, everyone's already told me to take a trip out that way anyway, because they're like, if you think the forest and stuff are pretty here, just wait till you start driving a little north. So
Blake,
yeah.
Blake, you're 3 hours away.
Oh, that's gonna happen. You know what's awesome, Ron? Allagash White just stays in our fridge now.
Oh.
'Cause it's just
And
freezes
then
everywhere.
what is it? Alchemist Brewing?
In
the-
Vermont,
the
right?
heady topper?
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
maybe a 4 or 5 hour drive from you now.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's like I'm centrally located to a lot of really good beer. It's very dangerous
Yeah, about the same. Yeah.
3 hours and a half
to Vermont.
Yeah.
Oh,
to Alchemist.
I need to go to Alchemist to just have some of that stuff on
Yeah.
tap.
I think they're only open seasonally. They're only
Yeah.
open from like April or May to
Oh,
August or something. Anyways, we had from the Great White North, Rec League Locker Room, and then Ron.
oh, and then from the incomparable Flying Monkeys.
Meat Mop. Or Meat Mop. God, did it again.
Meep
Meep
Mort.
Mort.
6.7% ABV
Oh my
on
god!
their hop charged IPA. So good. I love it.
All right, Ferris, do you have a Zlatan quote to
He's
kick off
panicked.
2024?
Panic. Where's the book? Oh, wait. I got it. Dust on it. All right, here we go. Really quickly. Oh, why not add Jose Mourinho into it, right? Jose Mourinho is Pep Guardiola's opposite. If Mourinho brightens up the room, Guardiola pulls down the curtains, and I guess that Guardiola now tried to measure himself with him. Pairs the two big managers.
Nice.
Well, what did you learn from Mito? Arabian music. What would you name your son, Zlatan Jr.?
Love it.
Flipping amazing.
A World Cup without me is nothing to watch. So it's not worth waiting for the World Cup.
Did you see his quote about scoring the most goals in the Saudi Arabia League?
Yeah, it's like 10 goal or it's like 1 goal and whatever.
Yeah, he was like, it's like 1 goal in the Champions League. It's a corner kick. It's a free kick.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Speaking of Jordan Henderson, right? He's like trying to get out.
Oh yeah, he's trying to get back.
Saudi League now. Yeah.
Yep.
The past year has not been good for him. He supports all of the rainbow aces, this, that, and then goes to a country that is questionable views on those things.
Human rights in general.
Yes,
yeah.
and gets this payday, and then all of a sudden is going, I don't know if I want to be here.
Yeah. Especially when your money is kind of tainted by all
I imagine clauses to get out of that are quite high. You may have to lie in the bed that you made there.
Yes, this is accurate. Well, gents, it has been good to kick off a new year for you. So I thought it would be appropriate to do New Year's dad jokes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Hit it.
Youth. This sounds like a toast. So I'll hold my beer up. Youth to youth. It's when you're allowed to stay up for New Year's. Middle age is when you're forced to.
Is there a punch?
It's less a dad joke and more just like an honest proverb.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I was
like,
gonna say,
where's the punchline?
Wait. What is a New Year's resolution? Something that goes in one year and out the other.
Well done.
All
Okay,
right,
okay.
all right.
You're picking up some steam here.
I don't think this one's good, but it made me laugh. What do you use in the bathroom on January 1st after number 2? A New Year's bidet.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, it's so bad.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hey, you built up to it there.
There you go. Well, gentlemen, it is a pleasure to see you again here from my weird studio corner where I'm surrounded by a lot of boxes that we have still yet to get through. And eventually I'll have my beautiful game studio set back up in here proper. But despite it all being different over here, my goodness, it was nice to get back in the familiarity of hanging out, having beers, and BSing about soccer, gents. So cheers to that.
Cheers.
Follow us on the X's, the Twitters, the whatevers. Leave us some reviews if you can on Apple Podcasts. If you listen to us, let us know you do. We'll get something fun out your way. On the Untapped, as I start putting all the Connecticut beers I'm having there on Untapped. And that wraps us up. Gentlemen,
I love it.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Love the beer. Cherish the game. The Brutiful Game.